Welcome back to Transformers Cyberverse. In today's review, we're taking a look at Season 2, Episode 15, Wiped Out. We begin with Hot Rod and Bumblebee buffing the Ark's windows. Can you buff a window? Well, the two start fooling around, polishing each other. Nothing to read into here, but they then come across an asteroid field. The Ark decides to divert around the asteroids, but Bumblebee and Hot Rod grab Cheetor and instead go space surfing. I kinda wish they all had their own different custom boards. But then again, I guess how would they explain Cheetor having a custom board when he'd only just learned about space surfing? I also wish one of them had a pink hoverboard like Tailgate from the IDW comics, who was obviously inspired by Marty's Barbie pink Mattel one from Back to the Future. Hey, maybe they could have killed two birds with one stone and said that Cheetor was borrowing RC's board. That way they could each have their own unique boards, and Cheetor would have the pink, not quite Back to the Future's one. Win-win. So the three Kid Appeal characters have their fun surfing through the solar waves. Bumblebee and Hot Rod do some tricks. I especially like the one where Hot Rod uses his flamethrowers as jet propulsion. However, Cheetor seems to have some trouble at first. For some reason this reminded me of this scene in Beast Wars. But Cheetor soon learns that it's easier for him to surf in his kitty cat mode. Kind of like one of those animal videos you'd see online sometimes, where a cat or a dog or some other cute animal is using a skateboard or surfboard or whatever like a person. They then notice that these aren't your usual asteroids.
This one appears to have a face.
Whoa. Let's do it!
Wow, they put a lot of those together really fast.
Does anyone else hear that crackling noise?
No, and neither should you because sound can't exist in space. But maybe we'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that the crackling noise is actually noise interference with their comms. The three get separated, and Cheetor wakes up with a group of Sharkticons known as the Fins. A nice touch here is that Jazzy, their leader, has fins painted on his knuckles. Although if it's Cybertronian writing, that must mean that these Sharkticons are somehow related to the Transformers, right? More on that later. So the Fins make Cheetor part of their gang, and we get a little bit of backstory here. The Sharkticons' planet was destroyed, but we aren't told how. And that their hero is Na, who weirdly is depicted here as a saw shark and not like a normal Sharkticon like he usually is. Maybe they should have called him Sharp-Edge instead, after the Beast Wars Neo character. But Backbite and the Tails arrive, along with their own new champion, Bumblebee. The two Autobots reunite, but the two groups of Sharkticons fight, with Hot Rod and a third group, the Snouts, joining in. Cheetor gets them to stop fighting and tells them that they should join together.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Let's join together! And get 'em!
The Autobots make it back to the Ark, Cheetor gets the Allspark, and he uses it to fix the Sharkticon's planet. Or at least most of it. And that's the end of this episode. Not a very good episode if you ask me. I mean, I guess we did get more of Hot Rod, Bumblebee, and Cheetor bonding, but I think they've already had enough screen time together in previous episodes. We didn't really need a whole episode dedicated to them. And the ending was so dissatisfying. And it kind of kickstarts this theme that we'll see in the next few episodes, where basically the Autobots just use the Allspark to solve all their problems. Honestly, this episode kind of felt like Infinite Vendetta, in that it seems like the writers were told by Hasbro to put the Sharkticons in an episode in order to try and sell toys. And they did. And they even went a step further and made 3 groups of Sharkticons that all look the same.
We don't look alike!
What are you, colorblind?
If you'll let me finish, I was going to say that they all look the same except they have purple, orange, or green paint on them. Which, if you really wanted to, you could buy a whole bunch of Sharkticons, and even with no customizing skills whatsoever, you could add some paint to them to make them look like a fin Sharkticon, a tail Sharkticon, or a snout Sharkticon. If BotCon was still around, they'd be wetting their little panties over the troop building opportunities that this presented. Y'all reckon to tell me that we could take the same figure that's in retail, don't even change the base deco none, just add one paint application, then change the color of that there paint application, and now all of a sudden we got a troop builder set of 3 different characters? which folks will probably buy multiples of, and we get to charge $200 a pop for a shit? Well, yeehaw! Or, Ripper Labels or Toy Hacks could just do a sticker set that gave you orange, green, and purple decals. So then you wouldn't have to mess with paint at all. You'd just have to track down 3 Cyberverse Sharkticon toys. Which brings up another point. The Cyberverse Sharkticon toy is called Gnaw, even though Gnaw in the show is clearly much different. And even the other generic Sharkticons in the show look different than the Gnaw Sharkticon toy. In Cyberverse, they're much more stylized, kind of cute, where the toy is clearly based on the old G1 Sharkticon design and not so much based on the design we see in Cyberverse. We also never see any of the Sharkticons transform, which brings up another question. Are they related to the Transformers or not? The Cybertronian writing we see them use says to me yes. Yes, they probably are related in some way. Maybe their world was, as we'll see in the next episode, a lost colony of Transformers. And how was their planet destroyed? I wonder. Now, this is minor spoilers for the next couple episodes, but I wonder if their planet was destroyed by the Quintessons. They are referenced in future episodes. And we know the Quintessons have a connection to the Sharkticons, at least in G1. And well, I guess they don't really have a direct connection to Unicron, they just both so happen to be villains who premiered in Transformers the movie. But they aren't really related in any way that I know of. I don't know, maybe it's just because I want my Unicron theory to be true. Or maybe it's because otherwise, if this episode doesn't have anything to do with the Quintessons, then it's a completely pointless episode and doesn't contribute anything to the overall plot of the show. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, subscribe, share, subscribe. Did I mention subscribe? Seriously, please subscribe. Did you know that over 90% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed? What? How? What are you doing? How are you not subscribed? How did you find my videos? So please subscribe if you want more Transformers and other content from me. And I'll see you back here next time for episode 16, Ghost Town.